Hello everyone, welcome to another race. Good to have you guys here in the chat. Captain Slow, Sugar Bear, Nolan, welcome to you guys. I see we've got a few viewers, so welcome to all of you. I hope you guys have a good evening and enjoy the race with us. So this is round 7. We're just trying to get I think Mango is in. Yes, Mango is in. Cool. So we can ready up. Just quickly give these guys the ready up signal. Okay, cool. I think everyone is ready to ready up. Now we do have 20 drivers this week, not 19 like last week. So that means I cannot be put into a seat by accident. So I've got spectator selected, and yeah, we will definitely not be in a car, which is fantastic. Now, as you might have seen in the pre-race graphics, we have a new championship leader in the constructors. So Haas, Big T, and Davids no longer leading the constructors. It is now Visa Cash App. So Racing Bulls, RB, Baby Boy, and James. They are leading the championship now. So 2 strong drivers. But it's ridiculously close. So you've got P1 to P4. Or let's put it this way, P4 is still within 30 points of P1, which is a single race win. Remember, a team can get 56 points in a given week if they score a 1-2 with the fastest lap. So to be only separated by 30 points, the top 4 is insane that after 6 races, it's so close. Now, one thing I am trying this week, since usually when I'm racing, I put ray tracing off, obviously for maximum performance, maximum FPS, etc. However, since I'm only commentating and YouTube only does 60 FPS in anyway, I figured why not put ray tracing on and see if it doesn't make the stream look even better. So yeah, we're gonna check it out. I'm gonna put on my overlays now to see just what the FPS and stuff is doing. But yeah, we're gonna have ray tracing on, and then hopefully everything looks even better. Yeah, we'll see. At the moment, no one coming out. Everyone just waiting a bit. I can see a Visa Cash App here. Looks like James getting ready to come out. So let's go on board with James. There we go. Captain Slow says he's in Qatar. Wow. Awesome. Just trying to catch up with the chat. You're here in Qatar, not seeing any of you guys. Oh, unfortunately, yeah, we are not in Qatar ourselves. It would have been awesome if we could have been. But yeah, you must enjoy. So the real Fig serving his qualiban. He unfortunately impeded one of the guys last week, so he got a qualiban for that. Nothing major, but those are the rules. So he has retired from qualifying. He will start this race at the back. Now James was the first one out the pits, but he has been overtaken by not Storming Thunder. That will be Sugar Bear. So Sugar Bear will be the first one on the lap. Mr. Chad Andrews, Cheddar, welcome in the chat. Sad to see you not on track, but yeah, one of these days you will hopefully have a full-time seat for next season. The real track is like a graveyard tonight. Yeah, there's nothing going on there. So Sugar Bear starting us off in qualifying into turn 1. I think it's looking pretty smooth. Let me know what you guys, if the quality and everything is fine. But I think it's looking pretty nice. I can see a difference with the ray tracing. I don't know if you guys can see a difference as well. But this thing is saying that I'm getting 60 FPS. Which, I mean, is fine, because that's the maximum YouTube can output anyway. So, I mean, there's no use in running 140 FPS if YouTube only outputs 60 as well. So, I think we keep the ray tracing on. If it gives us any issues later on, I'll turn it off. But for now, I think it's looking pretty cool. MX Lito, is it Malito? Malito? Are you Miguel, right? I think, if I remember correctly, you're Miguel. Okay, so Sugar Bear. Cheddar says Don is flying. Did some practice with him in the week. Yeah, want to see what Don can do. Let's maybe go on board with Don. Where is he? Oh, he's still on an outlap. So we've got Verum Puzzle coming across the line into P3. Sugar Bear invalidated his first lap, so he will have to go again. As we've got a horse 1-2. Send the Discord link, please. Check in the on the channel. The channel has if you click on the channel, the Discord link is there. I can't send it now while I'm busy here, but if one of you guys do have the link, you can send it in the chat. Otherwise, just check on the channel. The link is there. You're welcome to join. You're from South Africa, or if you are South African and you're staying maybe abroad somewhere, welcome to join. It will be awesome to have you on board. But Haas taking it personal, the fact that they're not leading the championship anymore, and now they are 1-2 in qualifying so far. Big T, he'll be coming into the pits. Is that Mango? Mango on an outlap. So let's go on board. Let's actually go on board with Don. No, Don is invalidated. So let's go on board with Mango as he bids to take another pole. He's won the last 3 races in a row. As he's jumping around a bit, I think that's his internet just playing a bit of games. Hopefully it sorts itself out for the race. Can be quite distracting if a car is jumping around like that and you're trying to race them wheel to wheel. Purple Sector 1. Can't really trust that with this game. EA have still managed to not fix that. I think that's been a glitch since F1 2021, I believe, where the purple sectors aren't really purple. It just gives you purple regardless. So, yeah, that's EA for you. But, purple sector 2, apparently. With Mango, I probably believe it. But, yeah, we'll have to see when he crosses the finish line what this lap is going to be. Is he going to dive into the 20s? Across the line, it's a 20.7. There we go. Half a second clear of the field. Hey, Kasi. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. We have got, is that James? Yes, James is starting a lap, so let's stay on board with James. I think he's P4 in the championship, so one of our title challengers and one of the drivers that are leading the championship in the constructors. James and his teammate are your new constructors leaders. And incidentally, Haas and RB swapping around for P1 and 2 was the only change. The rest of the teams all stayed in the same position from last week to this week. So that's actually pretty interesting. That doesn't happen too often. Especially like early in the season. The teams usually jump around quite a bit. But yeah, I must say, I am starting to miss the F1. So we'll see how it goes for next season. But at this stage, I am enjoying the commentary so much. It's really fun, and a breath of fresh air to as James goes very wide and invalidates his lap at the second final corner. Here comes Scully. See what the McLaren driver can do. Goes up to P8, right behind his teammate. Good lap from Skilly. Two McLarens doing well. McLaren actually the most successful car in LSA history. McLaren has won the most championships across all the tiers, all the seasons. So that's quite interesting. As Imi goes into P7, good lap from him. And now we've got a Ferrari. Both Ferraris are going to start the laps. And then as is Winter, so it's going to be a Rickes. We actually got, I think, P5 last week, so fantastic race for him. Storming Thunder is also starting a lap. The Mercedes driver of Japes, he invalidates. And then there's an Alpine on its way. Is that Pantry Star? Also starting a lap. Then another Williams, is that Nate? He's on an outlap. So everyone seems to be on outlaps at the moment. D-Square up on an outlap. Okay, that's James. He's on an in-lap. Okay, so I think Storming... No, it's Sugar Bear. Sugar Bear is the next one that's going to be posting a time. So we'll go on board with him. Second last corner, keeps it on track. Very easy to invalidate on the exit there. This whole track is actually really tough for track limits because it's such a high-speed track. If you're not absolutely on the limit, you're losing so much time. Sugar Bear up to P6. That's a great lap for him. Then there's a Haas coming. That's Big T, who I think has backed out of that lap. He's going into the pits. Then Don Rabico. He's going to start a lap. Here comes Winters, Iowa. Across the line up to P9. Good lap from the Sauber driver. Then we've got Viren Puzzles starting a lap. Then we've got Storming Thunderhead. He improves to P2. Nice. So Aston Martin putting in the fast laps at the moment. Then Pantry Star, I think, coming across the line. He's on an improved lap. He goes to P5. Wow. So it looks like the track also is ramping up quite a bit. So good to see these guys putting in the laps. That's Butari. He's going to start his lap. And then we've got a Williams. Just Nate coming across the final corner to cross the finish line. And he improves slightly. P15 for the Williams driver. And then we've got Baby Boy who's going to start a lap. And then I think Spike's going to start a lap. And then Sugar Bear is going to dive into the pits. And then we've got Mango. He's invalidated. And then I think it's Winterish Iowa who's on an in lap, going very far off track to make way for Viren Puzzle. So let's go on board with the other McLaren now. We saw his teammate cross the line earlier. Now it is Viren Puzzle's turn on the limit. Good to see. Cross the finish line up to P4. Great lap from Viren Puzzle. Wow, that's a really good lap. This is going to be Don Rabico. Where does he go? Does he start a lap? Yeah, Don is starting a lap. So let's go on board with Don. See if he can hook his lap up this time around. No, he spins. Oh no. What's happening to Don? He still doesn't have a lap in. 5 minutes to go in the session. So Don is a bit under pressure here. He's going to have to get a lap in pretty soon. Yeah, so that's interesting. D-square upper into the pits. Baby boy across the line. Goes P10. Good lap. Only just behind P2 actually. So from P2 to P10. Only 6/10. Crazy stuff. Davids is starting a lap. Mango has invalidated again. And then there's a McLaren. I think that's Venom Puzzle on an in lap. I think he might pit here. Yes. Now, Japes, what can he do? Can he improve? He's going to invalidate and dive into the pits. Looks like every time we go on board with someone, they mess up. So let's hope we don't have the same effect on Butari, who I think is on an in lap here because he's about 6 seconds down on his time. And then there's a Kick Sauber, that's Spikes. Spikes is also on an in lap. As is David is invalidated. And then is that James? No, it's Baby Boy. He's going to be on an in lap as well. Right, so everyone is going to dive into the pits now except for James because he's on an out lap. So James will be the first one to start his final run. We're going to see if James can improve. James also currently without a lap time. So James and Don, two guys usually fighting at the front, they still need to put a lap in here. This is going to be quite interesting. So we'll stay on board with James just because this is a really big lap for him. Right, here we go. Final lap for James. Got to make this one count. This is his last chance to put in a lap, so he's probably going to not be able to be extremely on the limit here, because if he makes a mistake, he's starting last, and he can't afford that. He would rather start 10th or 12th than in P20. So let's see what James can do. Looked like a pretty clean first sector so far. Double right-hander coming up. Yeah, you can see he's leaving some margin on the table. Doesn't want to invalidate again. And unfortunately, that is what happens when you do invalidate the first runs, is you have to then be a bit more cautious on your final run, which obviously loses you a bit of time because you can't be on the limit as you usually would. Coming now to the end of sector 2, he's got a Mercedes ahead of him. Is that Don? Yes, it is Don, but he's going to stay out the way. Triple right-hander, all flat in qualifying. And then I actually think this corner here is flat as well. James goes wide again and invalidates. That's James out of qualifying. He's going to start last. He won't have time to do another lap. Next we've got Don, who just started his lap. And then Pantry Star is also on a lap already. So we'll go on board with Pantry Star. So that's a big shock for James. He's going to be starting last. Not what he would have wanted. Pantry Star, can he improve from his current position in P6? Fantastic qualifying so far for the Alpine. See if he's improving. He's a 10th and a half up, which would gain him 2 places at this stage. So if he can keep that going for the rest of the lap, he could be up to P4. For the time being, at least. Final corner now. On the power as early as you can. Let's see if he improves. He doesn't. He lost time in that final sector. Davids and Big T starting a lap. McLaren. Scully is starting a lap. That's a Mercedes then of Japes starting a lap. No, it's Don. What does Don do? Crosses line P2. Wow. Only a couple of hundredths away from Mango. Awesome lap from Don. And now the laps are going to come flying in. That's Sugar Bear to P9. Then we've got a Kick Sauber. That's Winterish, Iowa. I think. No, it's Spike starting a lap. Storming Thunderhead. He's starting a lap. Then we've got the McLaren of Vidim Puzzle starting a lap. Then we've got... Is that James? No, it's Baby Boy. He's also starting a lap. Right, so everyone's starting their laps now. We've got Emmy. 3/10 up. He's going to improve. Could put him in the top 7 here. He goes 5th. Wow, good lap from Emmy. Then we've got a Williams. I think that's just Nate crossing the finish line. And then Winterish, Iowa goes to P12. Good lap. And then we've got a Ferrari. That is not Rikus. That's his teammate, D-Square Rapper. He improves by 3/10. Stays P18. Right, then we have got a McLaren coming. Is that Skilly? Final corner. He's almost 6/10 up on his time. This could be big for Scully. P8 maybe. Yeah, that is. P8 for Scully. Huge lap from him. Then Mango. Is he improving? He does improve. A 20.5. Crazy. That's so fast. James. Whoa. James had time for another lap. He goes P6. Wow. Pantry has retired. As long as that's in the pits, it's okay. For qualifying, drivers are allowed to retire in the pits during qualifying. Then we've got a Aston Martin. That's MRX Sugar Bear, but he's not done. Let's quickly see if we can find him. Oh, he dives into the pits. That's qualifying done. No, yes, that is qualifying done. Wow. Frantic end to the session. We've got Mango on pole from Don Rabico in P2. And then Storming Thunderhead P3, Big T in P4, Emmy in P5, James P6, Vidim Puzzle P7, David's P8, Skilly P9. Good qualifying for McLaren. Good qualifying for Haas as well. Both cars in the top 10. And the Alpine of Pantry Star in P10. Got Spikes P11, Sugar Bear P12, Japes P13, Winterish P14. Baby Boy has dropped down to P15 at the end of it all. And I couldn't see the last 5. Let me quickly grab these screenshots. And the race director. There you go. Okay, just going to let the drivers know that we will be going at 20:43. Okay, guys. I will be seeing you in 4 minutes time. I will be back at 20:42. And yeah, then we can get this race underway. See you in a moment. Okay, welcome back everyone. We will be reading up shortly. Anyone with predictions, pop them in the chat. We've got Mango on pole. He's looking good to win this race again, to make it 4 in a row. But we can't write off Don and Storming Thunderhead and Big T. Top 4, all with a very good chance to win this race. Especially depending on what setups they've gone with. Maybe some of them went with a more qualifying, a setup with qualifying in mind. Others might have gone for a setup with the race in mind. So we'll see how that pans out. Let me tell the drivers to ready up here. Right, so the drivers will be readying up soon, and then we can be on our way. Just need to... Okay, there's the timer. Seems like we are ready to go. Lights out and away we go. Good start for Mango. He's on the mediums. Don is on the hards, it seems, as it's a good start for Big T as well. Where's our... There we go. There we go. Right, yellow flags. Didn't see anything, but Mango already a second ahead. Don Rabico in second. Then you've got Big T in third, Storming in fourth. So it looks like a lot of guys have gone for the hards. So this is going to be an interesting race. Mango, one of the few who started on the mediums, as has Imi. Now, Imi usually likes to start on the hards, so I'm quite intrigued to see that he started on the mediums this time around. We've got Gems on the mediums, getting past Vidim Puzzle. Got more yellow flags. That's a Kicksal, but that's Spikes. Spikes is around. Does he have damage? Doesn't seem that way. Looks like he's going again. Unfortunate for him. Those hards luckily will still go a long while, so luckily for him, no damage. Can still keep going. However, back to the front, we've got Mango leading the way. Interestingly, only 1.2 seconds ahead of Don. And Don being on the hards, these hards are going to take a lap or two to get warm. Obviously at Qatar, they warm up a bit faster than at your average track due to all the high-speed corners, but Don is in a really good place here, because if he's only 1.2 behind, in 3 or 4 laps, those hards are going to be the faster tire, and then he can mount an attack on Mango. Right, let's see if we've got some action back here. Not too much happening. Dirty air is really strong around Qatar due to all the high-speed corners. Oh, someone pitted. D-Square Rapper pitted. I wonder if he got damage. I think he did. I think he must have done a wing replacement there. Right, so look at this. Don already in the DRS of Mango, back within a second, and he's dropped Big T out of a second. So Big T in that lovely looking flowered horse of his. He will have to put on the afterburners a bit here to get back to Don. But Don smartly has burned his battery, but crucially now is within DRS of Mango, so now he can save some DRS, and Don is in a really, really strong position here for a good race result. Down the straight, here we go. Japes, Davids and Vidim Puzzle all pretty close, getting quite feisty there. as the gaps are starting to open up. You can see who's got the pace and who hasn't. Baby Boy and Scully going side by side. Scully manages to keep the position or get the position. I'm not sure, one of the two. But Scully ahead of Baby Boy then for the time being. Baby Boy on those mediums. He is the last running medium car, so he will try to do something clever with this strategy to get back up there. Maybe go for an undercut of some sorts, but we will have to wait and see. Japes all over the back of David's, so looking like he's got some good pace in that Mercedes. His teammate up in P2 definitely looking like he's got good pace, so could be a good day for Mercedes. Can they bounce back and start mounting a title challenge? Japes obviously winning the constructors last season with me. So he's no stranger to silverware in this league. And with Don Rabico as a teammate, they've got every chance of going for the title. As back here we've got Rikus getting past Pantry Star. Into the top 10 goes the Ferrari driver. Doing better than the real life Ferraris. Yeah, just kidding. As Skilly and Baby Boy still neck and neck, fighting tooth and nail for this position. Baby Boy up the inside, and I think that's going to be him up into P12. Good move for the Visa RB driver, as now Buatari looks to go up the inside of Skilly. It's going to turn to the outside for the next corner, so I think Skilly will be able to keep that position. Right, so Frantic. We've got the two Kick Saubers swapping places. I don't think they're fighting. I think that's just a straight position swap maybe. So Spikes was able to catch back up to this train. So he's also maybe got some good pace in that Sauber. That's why his teammate let him past pretty easily. But now let's turn our attention to these front two. What does Don Rabico do? Does he stay behind Mango? Or does he go for the overtake? Mango with some battery in hand. What does Don Rabico do? He's burning the overtake. But he just doesn't have enough, it seems. Maybe Mango running a bit lower wings. I know they were joking about that in the chat earlier. Mango running low wings at the circuit. Which makes it very difficult to overtake, because that's the thing with this game. So, because Dirty Air is so strong, even though Don has more downforce, and if you were to put them side by side in a qualifying session, Don would have a lot more speed in the corners. But now, because of the Dirty Air, he can't stay close enough. And then when they get to the straight, he's not close enough to make the move because Mango has the lower wings. So in a case like this, the lower wings are really strong, because the guy behind can't really do anything. There's not enough, there's too much Dirty Air to get close, but then there's not enough slipstream to make up for it on the straights. So that is the kind of risk and reward that you take with the setup. Moving to the midfield, we've got these guys all in a long DRS train, headed by Rikus. So Rikus, good race last week in Vegas. And so far, a good race this week again in the top 10. Followed by Baby Boy. Baby Boy has made his way up a few places so far, so we'll see if he goes for the move immediately. And I think he is looking like he wants to. We'll go on board. Goes to the outside. And that is move done for Baby Boy up into the top 10. Great battling from these guys. Keeping it clean. As Skelly already has a 3-second penalty for track limits. And that's what I said earlier. This track is very harsh on track limits, because you've got to be on the limit at every corner. You've got to push the track limits every single corner. And there's Sugar Bear, just as we speak about it. Penalties are going to play a big role in this race. Let me tell you that for free. Come the end of the race, if you kept it clean and you don't have penalties, you're going to be in a very good position. So all of the gaps about half a second or more, that's due to the dirty air. It's really tough to get within half a second and stay there, especially in the opening stages when there's no real tire delta. All of the drivers' tires are the same age. And as I say, that's Skilly. Oh! What has happened there? That looked weird. But Pantry Star also getting past Rikus. So I wonder if Rikus maybe made a mistake. And now Butari also on the attack. And that's Rikus down to P14. So I think he lost 3 positions in the span of a few corners there. Not ideal for the Ferrari driver. Now we've got James very close to the back of Imi. The RB on the back of the Red Bull. Spike's getting a 3-second penalty for track limits. As now I've got the real Fig getting past Rikus. Rikus is holding everyone up. Did Rikus disconnect? I wonder if Rikus disconnected. Let me send him an invite. That might be why he's so slow all of a sudden. Apologies, guys. Let me just quickly send him an invite. I think Rikus is out of the session. Must be, because he's dropping so many places. Wow. Okay, that's unfortunate for him. Rikus has joined, yeah. So Rikus was disconnected. Ah, man, that's unfortunate. Tried getting him in as soon as I noticed, but yeah, obviously he's going to lose a lot of time and places with that. And now his AI made a pit stop for him onto hards. Yeah, not ideal for him, but there's not much we can do about that. Sugar Bear right on the back of the real Fig, who started in last and is already up to P14, so good race for the real Fig so far. And now look at this big train. We've got Big T in P3, followed by Storming Thunder, followed by Imi and James and Davids, all within DRS of each other. And then Japes and Viren Puzzle not too far behind. As is Baby Boy. Wow, Baby Boy's made up a lot of time. So he has got a couple of tenths to gain still before he's in the DRS of these front guys. But let's go back to the front. So Storming Thunderhead still in the DRS of Japes. I think Imi, no, he did get DRS. Imi did get DRS, so that's crucial for his race. There we go. James ahead of Imi now, up into P5. Can he set off after Storming Thunder and get back into that DRS? It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Because Storming and Big T on the hards, and the hards at this stage is probably going to be the faster tire. So it's going to be tricky for James. But saying that, he's already down to 1.3. So James pushing this car as much as he can, and he's still got a lot of battery. So James could maybe still do this. And that's going to be crucial for their race. If he can get within the DRS of Storming Thunderhead by the end of the lap, that's going to be mega for him. So he's going to do everything he can. Now down to 1.3. Storming Thunderhead to James. James 1.1. Can he get there? I think that is the detection point. I think he's outside of the DRS. But that is really close. He almost got it. If he does another lap like that, he will get DRS. But now Storming Thunder had DRS down the straight and gains almost 5 tenths just by having DRS. And now James has to make up that 5 tenths from scratch. So here we go again. James. Looks like he's got a lot of pace. And he's going to have to get up the field if he wants to get a good result in this race. Don Rabico all on the back of Mango. Those mediums will be crying out for a break. But this is F1. The tires don't get brakes. Especially around a track like QATAR, with constant high speed, constant direction changes, very brutal on the tires. Don Rabico very close to Mango, but not with a lot of battery, and I think that's the difference. Mango, because he's got the lower wings, he's able to save the battery for the straights, and then on the straights use just enough so that Don can't get him. Here we go, Don around the outside. Does he make it work? Here we go. No, he slots in back behind. You can sense Don starting to get a little bit frustrated here. I think he knows he's getting held up by Mango. Especially in this middle part of the track where high downforce really rewards you a lot. With grip, with traction. And I just don't think Don has that at the moment. Mango doing enough to stay ahead. Got Vadim Puzzle right close to Baby Boy. So Baby Boy has made up more places. He's up into P9 now. Sugar Bear is quite close to the real fig as well. I'm not seeing any other gaps that are really small, so we'll stay on board this lead fight. As Mango pits. And he gets it slowed down. Sugar Bear gets a 3-second penalty for track limits. Mango with a good stop. Let's see if he comes out in traffic, because that's going to be quite crucial. Does he come out in traffic or does he have clear air? I think these Saubers are going to take him. Wow, so that's crucial for Mango on this outlap. Can the two Kick Saubers hold him behind? They're on the same tire, but obviously Mango's is a lot fresher. And there he goes, already past Spikes. Spikes not wanting to make that too difficult. He knows fighting Mango is kind of not on his to-do list tonight. He'd rather let Mango go and benefit from him being ahead. Now, where do we have close on-track battles? Not really anywhere. We've got Bueta close to the back of Pantry. And then we've got a similar gap between the Real Fig and Sugar Bear and Winterish with Mango. So let's hop on board with Mango, because remember, he's got the fresh tires. So he's going to be absolutely rapid. And it'll be interesting to know if guys like D-Squared Rapper fights this or not. No, he's not going to fight it. Who's in the pits? That's Imi and Spikes. No, not Spikes. It's Imi and Baby Boy. Pitting for the hards. So they're also going to try an undercut. Looks like the field has spread out slightly. QATAR still on the back of Pantry Star. And Sugar Bear still on the back of the Real Fig. So at the moment, a great result for Alpine. And a great result for McLaren. And a great result for Haas. All of the double constructors in the top 10. That's crazy. But the problem here for these guys is the front guy in the train is usually fast enough that you can't really overtake him easily. But he's also slow enough that he holds you up. So these guys will be feeling as if they're being held up a bit. Mango up into P11. Goes up the inside of Sugar Bear. This race is going to be a bit of a slow burner if it carries on like this. Because of all the gaps on the field, there's not much side-by-side action. There's not much chaos waiting to happen, unlike last week. Last week was probably the most chaos race we've had in terms of getting damaged, the walls, basically just everything. Yeah, this is still the closest battle on track. We've got the Real Fig from Mango and then Sugar Bear. Here we go. Mango getting past the Real Fig there. Oh, not a lot going on, guys. We've got spikes close to James. But James just pitted, so I think James might have actually done the overtake on spikes. James on fresh hards. Okay. So we're basically halfway into this race. Got Don leading. I think this might be the first LSA race that he's leading. I think. Storming Thundered still on the back of Big T, as he's been the whole race. Again, the gap is 5-6 tenths. Occasionally drops to around 3 tenths, but the dirty air around this track is just really strong. That's why these guys can't get too close, which makes overtaking difficult. And yeah, it rewards the lower wings, as I explained earlier. So Sugar Bear on the back of the Real Fig. Shapes close to Baby Boy. I think Baby Boy got past Japes. I think he did qualify ahead of him. There we go. Storming and Big T swap places. Big T's in the pits, that's why. Sugar Bear with another penalty for track limits. That's going to cost him. As we've got drivers switching to mediums. Big T one of them, Scully the other one. All the drivers who started on hards are going for mediums now. So Big T about 6 seconds behind Mango. So Mango making that undercut work as he boxed earlier before Big T and was able to drop him quite comfortably. Okay, now the question is, do these guys pit? Don pits. This is big for the race. D-Square Upper gets a time penalty for track limits. There we go. Mango does get past Don. Don stays ahead of Big T, who's coming down the main straight. Still not within the DRS. So now the question is, can Don catch that 4-second gap? He's got 6 laps fresher tires than Mango, and he's on the softer compound. So can Don close those 4 seconds? Japes behind Baby Boy. Baby Boy with some great pace. He's up into P8. And 2 guys still have to pit. That's Storming and Davids. As both of them dive into the pits this lap. So they will come out quite far behind. But they will have the freshest tires of everyone. Big T sets the fastest lap of the race. And now the question is, where's Storming Thunderhead with relation to those front guys? About 4.5 seconds. Wow, so that's how strong the undercut was. Those extra 2 laps. Making a 4-second difference. So can Storming close that gap back up to the front guys? He's got James behind him, but James is on older hards. So I think he should be able to run away from James fairly comfortably. And as I say, that James is on the verge of losing DRS here to Storming Thunderhead. Oh, as D-Square Rapper gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pits. His day goes from bad to worse. But Don Rabico setting the fastest lap of the race. And now he's only 1.5 behind Mango. So Don has managed to pull that gap back. It was, what, 4.5 seconds? We've got a yellow flag. That's a Mercedes. That's his teammate, Japes. What's happened to Japes? He spun at the final corner. Horrible for the Mercedes driver. He was in such a good position. And I think he's got damage, which is why he's got to pit again. So unfortunate, but oh, his whole front wing is gone. Whole front wing is gone. Right, so then, going to this battle. We've got Skilly, who's the conductor of this train. And Pantry, Puzzle, and Butari all in his DRS. But have a look at this, guys. We've got Don Rabico right on the back of Mango. Now, what Don needs to do is he needs to get past ASAP. Here he goes around the outside. He's going to brake later. He's got more grip on those mediums. And he's got the higher wings. And that's Don up into P1. And now the question is, can Don break the DRS? Remember, he's got pressure tires. And he's got higher wings. So he's going to have more speed in this middle section of the track. So possibly try and break the DRS. And look at that. He's already a second ahead of Mango. And this is crucial for Don. Because these hards are going to become the faster tire again. Even though they're 6 laps older. By the end of the race, might not be the faster tire, but they will be very similar tires. And so, yeah, Don, if he can stretch this gap, he puts himself in a really good position to win this race. And that'll be his first win in LSA. He's never won a race in LSA before, so this will be one to remember for Don if he can pull it off. But now Mango has to look behind more than he's looking ahead, because look who's coming. It's Big T, who's got 5 laps pressure mediums than his hards. And Big T now with a big gain down the straight, even though Mango running those low wings, Big T seemingly also running them. I'm not seeing any other battles on track, so we'll stay on board with this fight. Can Big T get into the DRS of Mango by the end of the lap? You would think he can, because the gap is now only 1 second. And there's still a bit of the lap left to go. Big T just needs those extra 10 to 2. Cassie says the field is close. It is. This field is very close. Advantage Don? Yes, I think so. Although Mango has been able to stay close. He's brought the gap back a bit. And now look at this, down the main straight. Look how much how much Mango is going to close in on Don because of the wing level. Few tenths between Davids and Emmy. There we go. Davids up into P6, gets past the Red Bull driver on those fresh mediums versus the old hards. Now we've got the 2 McLaren boys. Are they going to swap? I don't think so. No. So everyone from Scully and back is basically in the same race, because they've all got the same or similar freshness of tire. So they're all going to be competing for that P9 spot. But QATAR doesn't have penalties, and that's what I said earlier. I'm not going to check all the penalties now. I'll check them at the end. Skelly and his teammate Puzzle. Look at this. Has Mango made a mistake? He's dropped 2.5 seconds from Don Rabico, but here goes Big T up the inside. And that's Big T into P2. This is massive for the championship. Cassie asks, when are we seeing you back in a seat? I uploaded a video yesterday where I was in a seat. It wasn't a Formula 1 seat. It was an iRacing seat. But, yeah, no, I don't know. I'll think about it for next season. I'm not sure if I'm going to do F1 next season. Possibly do comms next season again. And then join the F1 grid again for the season that's after that, season 12, which will be on F1 26, or like the patch for F1 26, you know. Mango is fuel saving, probably. That could be. No, his fuel light's not showing. Oh, but it's Qatar, so it could be. Oh, and Mango gets a 3-second penalty. Huge. Just as we go on board with him, Mango with a 3-second penalty. Don was sitting in his DRS to save. That is probably what is happening in that first stint. This is big because now Japes, who is only 1.6 behind Mango. Not Japes. Storming Thunder, who's only 1.6 behind Mango. If he can stay within 3 seconds, that could be Mango down to P4. And now Don looking extremely good to win this race. Can Mango get back into Big T's DRS? That's the question. And you've got to say, in this middle section of the track, it's going to be difficult for him because of the lower wings he's running. The high wings that everyone else has means they've got more grip through the corners. And that's the risk versus reward with the setup. Yes, he's got a fast car in a straight. But if he can't catch up or stay with the people in the corners, then those few tenths that you gain on the straight are not that worth it anymore. Now Davids is closing up to Gems. That's going to be an interesting fight to the end as well. And these last guys are all within one long train. We've got Virim Puzzle, then we've got Skilly, Pantry Star, Batari, and Sugar Bear, all within DRS of each other. You can see on the minimap, the top 4 didn't get DRS, so no one got DRS on one another. Let's go to the Davids fight. Is he close enough to go for the move on Gems? Think he's going for it? No, he's not. He stays behind for another lap. He just showed him in his mirrors a bit, just to tell him, listen, I'm here. Don't relax too much, as Pantry Star and Butari almost fighting. Don first win. This could very well be Don's first win in LSA. Let's have a look at the race director. No warnings as well, so that's good for him. Big T has got 1 warning. This is Don's to lose. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, this is Don's to lose. David's still right on the back of Gems. This is a crucial fight for P5. In a week where Haas and Visa RB swap positions in the constructors, David's getting past James will be huge for their constructors championship standings. Ooh, someone, I think that is D Square Rapper, just got a penalty. As David's got past James. There we go. I was looking at the comments on my phone to see if I missed one of the comments, and when I looked back to the screen, boom, David's got past. So both horses are now ahead of both RBs. So that is interesting for the championship dynamics. As look at this, we've got Mango. He was within a second briefly. There we go, back into second now. You can see him, he's got the straight line speed. But Big T has got the advantage in the corners. Remember, Mango has that time penalty as well. So even if he does get Big T still finishes ahead on penalties. We're on the second last lap, and Don has a 5-second gap to P2. And then P2, 3, and 4 are very close. Storming Thunderhead on his way to get yet another podium this season. He's just been consistently scoring those points. Rikus gets a time penalty. For a moment I thought it said Don Rabico, but at this stage even a 3-second penalty for Don won't make a difference. As James gets a 3-second penalty. That's not going to be too bad, because he's behind Davids comfortably anyway. As long as he stays ahead, 3 seconds ahead of Emi, it's not going to have an effect at all. Spike sets the fastest lap on a fresh set of soft. Okay, here we go. Final lap. Storming Thunderhead knows he doesn't have to take too much risk because Mango does have the penalty. Let's quickly jump back to Skilly here, just to see if Panchista and Butaro are going to make moves. I don't think so. Not an easy track to overtake at, let me tell you that. That's definitely the case. I'm keeping half an eye on Don on the minimap. We don't want to miss him crossing the line for his first win in LSA, so I'm going to stay on board with him. Don Rabico, he's had some bad luck this season. Been involved in a few incidents through no fault of his own. And this is redemption for the Mercedes driver. He comes across the line. He's going to finish in P1. He swerves to celebrate the victory. Fantastic race from him. Second, Big T. And then it's going to be Storming Thunderhead ahead of Mango, who drops to P4. So from pole to P4 for the Williams driver. Then comes Davids, P5. Great result for Haas today. That might even be them retaking the championship lead for next week. And then you've got James, Imi in P7, followed by Baby Boy in P8. And then there's going to be a bunch of cars finishing, but they've all got penalties, so I don't know who's going to jump around. There we go. Butari jumps 3 places from P12 to P9 just because he doesn't have penalties. Then you've got the 2 McLarens. Then you've got Pantry Star. Then Sugar Bear. Winterish Iowa. He jumps Sugar Bear due to penalties. And then you've got the Real Fig who jumps Sugar Bear as well. So Sugar Bear had a lot of penalties, it seems. Coming across the line, Rikus in P17. We're going to have Nathan Spikes. And there goes D-Square Upper. So it's just going to be Nathan Spikes to finish off this race for us. What an awesome race from Don Rabico. We've got to congratulate him in the chat. Fantastic race for him. Just want to grab the race results real quick. As he does his pose. Great stuff for the Mercedes driver. So here are your race results. Don taking the victory from Big T, and then Storming Thunderhead, your podium finishes. And your top 10 is Mango, Davids, James, Imi, Baby Boy, Botari, and Scully. Look at all those time penalties. Crazy. As my Discord is going bananas, I just want to quickly grab the incidents. The race director here. There we go. Right, let's quickly jump to Discord so we can do the interviews. Let's see. I hope they join. Let's see now. There we go. We've got Big T in. See if Don and Storming can join us. Come on, Don, your first win. You've got to celebrate in the. Here we go, Mr. Race Winner.
How's it?
Yes, yes, yes. What a race.
Thanks, man.
That feels good, right?
Finally.
Finally.
A win at LSA.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Congrats. Massive congrats.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
When the race started and I saw Mango on the mediums, I was like, and then I saw you on the hards, I thought, okay, that's going to be interesting. And then I saw almost everyone on the hards. And then I knew that because this game is weird. Like if majority go a certain direction, it depends on like hard, medium, hard. Either of them could be the fastest one, depending on what the rest of the field does. And so when I saw a lot of the guys on the hards, I thought this could be a good race for you. If you can stick with Mango in those opening laps, this could really be a good race. And it proved to be. Once you put it for the mediums, you caught him pretty quickly, passed him, and then you were sailing away into the distance.
Yeah, I tried. I raced last night on the. I actually did it by mistake. I raced medium hard. I wanted to start on mediums, but by mistake I started on hards. And then I saw that the pace and the strategy was much better than medium hards.
No, for sure.
Mediums on low fuel are crazy pace.
Yeah, the mediums at the end were really good. I think.
Let me do that. Let me go on hards and pray that there's no safety car. It's Qatar, so there's not too much safety cars in Qatar.
Your teammate almost caused one.
Hey, my teammate, hey, must be careful, that guy.
He lost his wing at the final corner. So that could have,
really?
Yeah, it could have very easily been a safety car.
But I think the settings of the lobby are on reduced.
It's reduced, yeah, but his whole wing was off, like not a bit, like completely off. So.
Oh, thank God, man, thank God.
But congrats on the race, Big T.
Thanks, man.
Strong race for you as well. Second, clawing back that championship deficit again.
Yeah, finally a good race after 5 races. Yeah, no, look, in practice I knew Don was a lot faster. So I knew I wasn't going to win this race unless miracles happened. So my only objective was Mango.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could see in quali he was running quite low wings, so I knew that I wouldn't pass him on the same strategy. So I was hoping for the tire offset. And yeah, when the race started, I wasn't going to try keep up with Don. I knew he had the pace advantage, so doing so would only kill my tires.
Yeah.
I just controlled my own race. Unfortunately, I think one point I was ahead of Storming by 1.2 seconds, and then I accidentally bumped my mouse pad and it put me in AI.
Oh no.
And then it closed back by 5/10, and then after that my battery was gone trying to break it again.
Yeah.
So I went for the undercut to break it, hopefully. And yeah, it was all right. Got past Mango in the end. So yeah, it was a good race for me.
But yeah, what Don says now, like I think when you came out of the pits, the gap to Mango was about 6 or maybe even 7 seconds. And it just shows how good the mediums are, at the end of the stint on low fuel. So yeah,
I
crazy
mean, I
because
think I
you
closed
and
on.
Storming caught back up to Mango.
Yeah, we did a practice race with Mango last week already, or early this week. I think this week, Monday. It was myself, Don, Mango, Cheddar, and Japes. I mean, Mango did medium hard, we did all hard medium. And you already saw there we caught him, so I don't know why he didn't try the hard medium.
Yeah, maybe he thought a lot of other guys would go for the medium hard, possibly.
It's normally a faster strategy unless there's a safety car. On most tracks, I would have loved to do hard medium, but safety car is very likely, and at this track, because it's open, it's quite low risk.
Yeah.
So I went with the hard medium.
Yeah. Well, congrats, Storming. Another podium for you as well. Building that consistency. Yeah, good race.
Definitely a much cleaner race from my side this time. So yeah, quite happy with that.
Yeah, awesome, man. Congrats. Your thoughts on the strategy? Did you also know ahead of time that you wanted to do hard medium?
Yes. Basically, I just knew with this sort of track, the hard tires would be quite decent right from the get-go.
Yeah, because they warm up pretty quickly.
And also just safety car again, as Big T was saying, not very likely. And also I just thought that traffic wasn't going to be such a huge issue.
Yeah.
And yeah, the undercut would have been nice, but I think at the end of the day, it just was nicer to keep that clean air, go longer on the hards, and then have the better pace at the end.
Yeah,
does help a lot.
The tire offset was good for you in the end. Yeah, I think especially with LSA that I've seen now this season, I think we've only had maybe 3 safety cars or 4 maybe in the opening 7 races, and we've been to a few tracks, which I mean, Las Vegas, it's a crazy track. China usually is a pretty crazy one.
It was.
But yeah, so the safety cars have been scarce, but it does bring for some good racing, and it allows the strategies
when they have come out.
Yeah, it allows the strategies to unfold.
When they have come out, they've come out perfectly in line with the medium to hard strategy.
That is true. That was true for China, especially. And I can't remember, was there one in Brazil? No. I can't remember what the other one.
That benefited the medium to soft.
Oh, but Brazil was the no hards. Brazil was the no hards race.
There was a safety car. Costed new track position.
Yeah, I remember now. But awesome, guys. Great race. Thanks for the entertainment, and have a good week. We'll see each other next week.
Oh, you too.
Yes, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Cheers.
Right, everyone. So that is LSA round 7 at QATAR, wrapped up and in the books. And what a race it was. We had different strategies. We had guys running riot to catch back up. And yeah, it was fantastic. So we'll see how the championship unfolds over the next coming weeks. This is officially halfway into the season. So the season has got 14 races. And we're officially done with round 7. And I believe, actually, next week we've got a mystery track. So let me just quickly confirm that for you. Yeah, next week we've got a mystery track. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, until then, we'll see each other next week. Have a good week, guys. Bye-bye.